moment they crossed paths, everything changed. But today, Grace has to choose. Will love overcome all obstacles? Will the billionaire finally heal? Or will the village life she knows be too big a step? This is the moment they've both been waiting for. To everyone who's followed this journey from part one, thank you, thank you, thank you. You've been with them through it all, and now we're at the turning point. But if you're just tuning in, don't skip ahead. Start from part one to truly understand the depth of their story. Trust me, you don't want to miss the magic. And hey, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss the big finale and everything else coming next. Grab your popcorn, because part 5 is about to blow your mind. Morning came with heavy clouds. Rain was coming. Grace woke up with a knot in her stomach. Today her father would give his answer. She went to the stream early to fetch water, trying to clear her head. When she returned, she found Damien waiting outside her father's compound. He looked tired, like he had not slept. "Grace," he said softly when he saw her. Before she could respond, her father came out. His face was serious. "Mr. Damien, come inside. We need to talk." Grace's heart pounded as both men entered the small house. Her mother made her wait outside, but Grace pressed her ear to the wall, trying to hear. Inside, Grace's father sat across from Damien. "You say you want to marry my daughter, but I am a father. I must ask the hard questions." "I understand, sir," Damien said respectfully. "My daughter has never left this village. She cannot speak big English like your Lagos friends. She knows nothing about computers or business. She can cook village food and fetch water and farm. That is all." Grace's father's voice was heavy with worry. "What will happen when you take her to your world and she embarrass you? When your rich friends laugh at her? Will you still want her then?" Damien leaned forward, his voice firm. "Sir, I have met women with university degrees, women who speak 5 languages, women who run companies. They cannot make me feel anything. But your daughter, with her simple ways and pure heart, brought me back to life. I do not care if she cannot speak big English. I do not care what my friends think. I only care about her." Grace's father studied the young man's face. He saw something there. Truth, real feeling, not the fake promises of a man trying to deceive. "And your business in Lagos? I hear you have been missing important meetings, that your company is suffering. How long before you blame her for your losses?" "My business will survive," Damien said. "I built it once. I can rebuild it if I have to. But if I lose Grace, I cannot rebuild what she awakened in me. Some things matter more than money, sir." There was a long silence. Grace held her breath outside. Finally, her father spoke. "Chief Okonkwo paid 200,000 naira as bride price. I will pay you 500,000, Damien said immediately. "And I will build a new shop for your carpentry business. A proper one with good tools." "I do not want her money to buy my daughter," Grace's father said sharply. "I want to know she will be safe, happy, respected. She will be all those things," Damien promised. "You have my word, and you can visit her anytime in Lagos. She is not a prisoner. She is becoming my wife." Grace's mother, who had been listening quietly, finally spoke. "Let him marry her. I see how he looks at our daughter. That is not the look of a man who wants to use and throw away. That is the look of a man in love." Grace's father sighed deeply. Then he stood up and extended his hand to Damien. "Take care of my daughter. If you hurt her, village juju will follow you to Lagos." Damien stood and shook his hand firmly. "I will protect her with my life, sir." Grace, who had been listening outside, burst into tears of joy. Her mother came out and hugged her. "You're going to Lagos, my daughter. Your life is changing." The next week moved like a whirlwind. Damien paid back Chief Okonkwo his money plus extra. The chief cursed and swore, but there was nothing he could do. The whole village talked about nothing else. Damien made quick trips to Lagos to handle the most urgent business, then returned to the village. His investors were angry, some pulled out of deals. His company's stock dropped, but Damien did not care. He was making a different kind of investment now. The traditional marriage happened fast. Damien paid the bride price properly, following all the customs. Mama Adiz and the village elders blessed the union. Grace wore beautiful traditional attire, and Damien wore full Igbo chieftaincy robes. When it was time to leave for Lagos, Grace said goodbye to her parents, her friends, and everything she had ever known. She was scared but excited. Ada hugged her tightly. "You're living a dream, Grace. Do not forget us when you become a Lagos madam." "I will never forget home," Grace promised. Lagos shocked Grace at first. The noise, the traffic, the tall buildings, the fast pace of life. Everything was so different. Damien's house in Ikoyi was bigger than her entire village. She felt small and lost. But Damien was patient. He hired a teacher to help Grace improve her English and learn about city life. He took her shopping, but never forced her to dress in ways that made her uncomfortable. He introduced her to his friends, and when some looked down on her, he cut them off without hesitation. "This is my wife," he told them. "If you cannot respect her, you cannot respect me." Slowly, Grace found her confidence. She learned to navigate Lagos. She made friends with other women. She started a small business selling village foodstuffs to Igbo people in Lagos who missed home cooking. The business grew rapidly. Damien's company recovered too. Some investors returned when they saw how focused and happy he became. New deals came. The business grew even bigger than before. But the biggest change was in Damien himself. The emptiness that had haunted him for 6 years was gone. He laughed more, smiled more, lived more. His doctors could not explain it, but he did not need them to. He knew the truth. Grace had healed him, not through medicine or therapy, but through love, through her pure heart and gentle spirit. 1 year later, Grace discovered she was pregnant. When she told Damien, he lifted her up and spun her around, laughing like a child. "We are having a baby," he shouted. 9 months later, their son was born. They named him Chukwabuka, which means God is great in Igbo. As Damien held his son for the first time, tears ran down his face. 6 years ago, he lost a wife and child. The pain had broken him completely. But God had restored everything through a simple village girl who knew nothing about his world, but everything about his heart. Grace stood beside him, watching her husband hold their baby. She thought about that day at the stream when she prayed for a better life. God had answered beyond anything she could have imagined. "Are you happy?" Damien asked her, his eyes full of love. "More than I ever dreamed possible," Grace said, kissing him softly. Years passed. Grace and Damien built a beautiful life together. They never forgot the village. They built a school there, a hospital, and a community center. Grace's father's carpentry business became the biggest in the region. On their 5th wedding anniversary, they returned to Ami's village for a celebration. The whole village came out. Even Chief Okonkwo attended, though he still grumbled about the woman who got away. As Damien and Grace danced together in the village square, under the same sun where he first saw her, he pulled her close and whispered, "Thank you for saving me." Grace smiled up at him. "You saved me too." And they both knew it was true. Two broken people from different worlds had found each other and created something beautiful. Something that proved love could cross any divide, heal any wound, and overcome any obstacle. Their love story became legend in the village. Young girls dreamed of finding their own Damien. Parents told their daughters that true love exists. You just have to be brave enough to choose it. And whenever someone asked Grace what her secret was, she always gave the same answer. "I was just myself. I did not pretend to be something I was not. And God sent me a man who loved me exactly as I am." That was the greatest lesson of all. You do not have to change who you are to be loved. The right person will love you, village girl or city woman, rich or poor, educated or simple, exactly as you are. Grace Okafor from Ami's village had taught a billionaire that lesson. And in doing so, she had won not just his heart, but his soul. The end.